All right, everyone. Welcome back to episode 7 of Jux, an all things sports podcast presented by Always Boolin. We're here with some Week 6 football sports updates. We got playoff baseball rocking. The NHL season has kicked off. The teaser hit, boys. We hit it. I'll mention it really quick and early, but then we'll dive into it. But not only did we hit it, we got it. All three teams won outright. So if you'd have taken the money line on that teaser in a parlay, you'd have been sitting nice and pretty. Starting things off, we had yet another night of ugly Thursday night football. We won't talk too much about it. I do want to say one thing on the game. Commanders 12, Bears 7. Train, Gnar, any big thoughts on the game before I go into what I was going to say?
The only thing I'll say quick is it's October, spooky season, scary Thursday night games, ugly Thursday night games. The only thing that really mattered to me in this one was I had Brian Robinson, anytime touchdown scorer. And let me tell you, it just ignited a match in my sports betting account, and I had a weekend of a lifetime.
Can we get a quick claps up for Brian Robinson, gunshot victim back in the NFL, touchdown, game back? Train, any big thoughts?
No, not really. I had to look up how much Amazon Prime is paying for these Thursday night games, just because I kind of wanted something to talk about. And they're paying them about $1 billion per year. And they're getting some pretty awful games, and I think it's pretty funny.
Yeah, quick things I was going to say is I was going to give claps up for Brian Robinson, but we got that for Gnar with his anytime touchdown score hit. And I would like to have just a quick word on Justin Fields. It's been a rough couple of episodes on the podcast for him, from my point of view, from our point of view, and a lot of slander at Ohio State quarterbacks. I'm not ready to deem this guy a success story or anything yet. He could be mediocre for all I care. But I don't think Eberflus is utilizing him correctly in the Chicago Bears offense. Maybe it's the coordinator's fault. Maybe it's not. But when Ryan Fitzpatrick gets on my television with a Harvard degree and tells me that that quarterback has talents that aren't being utilized, I listen. I'm not sold, but this guy is not a pocket passer. That's what Ryan Fitzpatrick was saying. He's not a pocket passer. And that's okay. Not everyone is. So the offense has got to get designed to get him out of the pocket, throw on the run, under pressure. And those were things he did well in the game. Bears suck. I think Justin Fields might suck, but we had to at least see him in the right system. Commanders aren't any better, but just hold out hope a little bit for him. I think if they fix up the offense and put him in a good system, Fields might have tools that we're not seeing. Outside of that, TD parlay did not hit for the boys in the other games. We only had one of us hit correctly on the Leonard Fournette touchdown. Jettis got 100 yards, no tubs. And Jeff Wilson Jr., I don't know the stat line. Gnar might. He's on his fantasy team, but no tub there. So 1 for 2 on the parlay. On the prop bets.
I don't mean to say that I'm counting or anything, but if everybody tailed me on my last 5 bets on this podcast, you would have won every single one of them. I'm so hot right now, it's ridiculous.
And that leads into the Money in the Bank, which hit. We had Bengals minus 1.5. Gnar locked it in at 3 units. We're 1-0 on the season with our Money in the Bank bets. It was a stressful game, the Bengals game, when it was week 1 of Money in the Bank. But they kept fighting. I thought it was electric when Joe Burrow wore Jamar Chase's championship jersey out there, because that's what Gnar was talking about when he made the Money in the Bank bet, was that they're right back in their national championship arena. So I think the jersey gave me personally good vibes from the beginning.
Great vibes.
Overall, tough game, back and forth. Were you sweating, Gnar, knowing you had all of Jux Nation on the edge of their seats?
I wasn't a cool cucumber. I kept seeing it come on red zone, and always the Saints. It didn't look great, but Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, they looked like them old selves. Offense looked clean. The defense just got to sharpen up a little bit. But a winner's a winner. I love sports bets that hit like that. Nobody likes a 48-0 game. Yeah, you get the same amount of money. It's way more hype when you win a game like that. Jamar Chase, 50-yard tub, whatever it was, that game winner. Way more fun.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
hype.
Train, where were you at during the game?
All for Gnar. I like you. I also loved the entrance. I think it was just like I'm back. I'm back where I was. Both of them played really well, and just kind of showed that Jamar Chase was a great pick very early in the draft for Joe Burrow to pair up with.
Eagles continuing their undefeated season. Last team left in the NFL with a perfect record. Is it time to take the Eagles serious, Train?
Yeah, I think it was time to take them serious from day one. A lot of people like them, um, and now they're just proving to everyone that they can be a contender. Colin Cowherd still doesn't think they're a contender, Super Bowl contender. You know, he's got the Bucks over them, and right now, I don't see how you could think that. Yeah, it's Tom Brady. Yeah, he's gonna make it there, but I, I trust in the Eagles right now, and Jalen Hurts is popping off.
No, do you think Jalen Hurts is the long-term answer at Eagles quarterback, or is he surrounded with great talent?
I think yes and yes. I think they got him on a rookie deal, and they said, "You're going to win us games right now. You're going to play yourself into a new contract." He's looked good. He's been consistent. Everything he wasn't last year. He's putting up points. He's throwing the ball accurately. I wasn't an Eagles believer coming into this season. I'm still not completely sold, but they're definitely a contender, and I believe in them now. But I don't think they're the team in the NFL.
It's understandable. I think it's a lot of things coming together on people being hesitant to take the Eagles right now. I mean, you look at Jalen Hurts, people were questionable on whether or not he was the answer before the season started. On top of that, people didn't know if the Eagles team was a serious team to start the season. It wasn't uncommon to not be high on the Eagles going into the year. So I think a lot of people are taking the patient approach because he's not hit with that label of superstar right out of the gates. I mean, you look at someone who comes in on draft day as a number one overall pick. If they're carrying their team to an undefeated record, there's no doubt in your mind that that guy's the answer for the franchise.
Yeah,
Now,
no
Trey,
kidding. He is. The Eagles are ranked two in the ESPN's NFL rankings,
behind who?
behind the
Bills?
Bills.
Bills,
Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense.
I thought that was interesting. But
Do you disagree? Would you put the Eagles at 2 right now?
just for record wise, maybe just at one. How can you put someone who's the only undefeated team at two? But if they played right now, I think the Bills might beat them.
I think it's
But
Bills by 100 if they play right now.
Yes.
100,
I think
it's gonna be a
Chiefs
good
by
game.
20 if they play them right now.
Train, I'm going to stab a sore spot for you really quick. I was just thinking Bills and Stephon Diggs and whatnot. Are you happy for Darius Slay? Are you upset about, like, where are you at with that as a Lions fan? I know Patricia traded him away for a box of rocks because he was unhappy. He was mostly unhappy with Patricia. As far as we know, Darius Slay loved Detroit, but he obviously had issues with the way Patricia ran his system. You got any blame on Slay? Are you rooting for him, or does every game that he goes up just make you more furious?
Well, whenever I watch him, he does well. No matter who he's going against.
He's been locked down
Um,
this season.
yeah, Hammy said that. I think whenever they were playing, that was our worst mistake is getting rid of him throughout the Patricia era, and yeah, I would say that would help right now,
And
especially with
Quandre
our.
Diggs, another guy who lost
Well,
it.
not as much. I think Slay is definitely a tier or two above him. Um, yeah, obviously our defense misses him, and I do enjoy watching him do well. It's not a hate thing.
And you mentioned the Bucks earlier, which leads right into segment one of our teaser hit. Steelers, in fact, covered their teaser spread, and they did just a little bit better than that. Are the Bucks frauds? I know Colin Kaepernick's still
I
high
said
on
it
them.
last week.
Train said it last week. Gnar, fan of a Steeler franchise that has struggled offensively this season, but a storied franchise. You haven't experienced a season like you did up until now. You had doubts about the offense. You're concerned about who's being utilized. You were almost ready for draft season last week, if I remember correctly. What is this? Are you happy the teaser hit and this is just a good one to snag really quick, or are you back in it? Is it Steelers Nation? Let's ride again.
It is.
Yeah.
It's sickening. I hate doing this to myself, and I do it every year. I mean, the Steelers have me on a string, and they just fuck around with me just like this, and I go up for it every time. But that's what being a sports fan's about. It's about believing. It's about wanting it more than the guy on the field. And I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't happy that the last time the Steelers played Tom Brady, they beat him, and they looked good. They didn't have their three best cornerbacks on their field. They didn't have their best defensive lineman on the field, and they didn't have their best safety on the field. That's 5 starters out, and they held Tom Brady at 18 points and 1 touchdown. I mean, the defense looked hungry. They showed they can stop the run against a good running back. They can stop the pass all of a sudden. And Mitch fucking lit it up in a quarter and a half. I don't know where that came from, but that was amazing.
Are you high on the Bucks team that they beat, or were you just focused on how the Steelers played in the game? Is there any part of your brain that's thinking like, oh, we beat what might be a fraudulent Buccaneers team this season? I mean, at this point, are you turning around and rooting for a Bucks turnaround, make that win look a little bit better?
Now, I don't think wins matter that much on who you beat. Like, it's not college. There's no playoff committee. It's the record, and that's it. So you beat who you beat. You can beat who's on your schedule, and I think it's a decent team to beat. Definitely, what were they? 7-point dogs, 8-point dogs.
8.
Yeah,
8.
I mean,
we had them plus 14 in the teaser.
Yeah, that was fucking easy money. That was ridiculous. Yeah, I loved it. It was good to see Claypool get involved. They show they can kill you with any 3 of their wide receivers any game.
It's good
talent. You just got to pick your poison. They still haven't used the middle of the field, though, so still waiting on that, Canada.
Yeah, I mean, I think they just let Freiermuth get a little bit more comfortable. He's got the talent. We've seen it. And maybe it is a play calling thing. Maybe Canada's not the guy.
It is. No, it is. It's not a maybe. It is. It's confirmed.
A team that others haven't been high on this year, and I wouldn't have said this to begin the season, but I've been talking nice about in the last couple of weeks. Falcons take down a formidable 49ers team. I mean, it's a good franchise. It's good coaching. It's kind of like beating the Bucks. They might not be a great team this year, but it's Tom Brady. It's a building block. Marcus Mariota was accurate, minimized mistakes. I think he was like 12 of 13.
13 of 14.
13 of 14, touchdown, no picks. And he looks good on the ground. They seem to have a decent enough running back committee right now. And I think their receiving core is solid. I think the question mark's the defense, but they've looked all right. Are the Falcons solid or are the 49ers bad? Train.
Okay, I think the 49ers are a little injured defensively right now. So that might be why that doesn't explain why they only scored 14 points against the Falcons. But it does explain why the Falcons did score 28 easily and Mariota did so well, I think. I'm not hating on the Falcons. I think they have a really weird offense, though, that I think people and teams can't get a read on. I keep putting it on here, all the stats every week. They share the ball with so many running backs every week that, I mean, they're always ready to run the ball, and they're running the ball a lot. And Ayuk on your bench this week in fantasy football?
Yeah, unfortunately, he was on my bench. And I've been working to trade him away. I've just got guys that are tough to sit for Brandon Ayuk on a gut call. I don't think he was projected more than 12. I would like to take this moment. We'll see how the rest of the night goes, but I was snapping comp today about a trade, right? And we hit a point, and he goes, "I would do that," and I have the snap saved. He said, "I would do that if I wasn't playing you this week." And I said, "How about we do it?" And I promised not to play either of the guys you're trading me. And then he just turns around and starts offering me an entirely new, different trade, completely different players involved. And then he's like, I don't know if I can give those guys up for that. And he accepted it and then took it away because we were playing this week. I'm still keeping the pressure on him tonight. Hopefully I get the deal done. If not,
What
might be
was
his
it?
loss. I don't know that I want to say it yet because there's other competitors here. It's
Not
nothing
also
major.
offering
It's
trade.
not gonna shatter the world or anything. It involves Brian Robinson. I'll leak that much.
What about Lazard?
I didn't even. What team is he on?
Green Bay.
No, like fantasy. Who's got him?
Oh, right.
I think Count does, yeah.
Yeah, it involved Lazard. It was Lazard and Brian Robinson for Dallas Goedert and Brandon Ayuk.
That motherfucker wants the tight end because he hit me up for fryer moves.
I would like to. Dallas Goedert's tight end 4 right now. Guy gets points. And we had a deal in principle. He just started shopping again.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
But Comp, I will
should be in
forgive.
jail.
I will forgive all if you're listening to this tonight in the morning, and that trade's accepted. I'll forgive everything. No hard feelings. Following the train of struggling veteran quarterbacks and electric new teams, Jets take down a struggling Packers team. Stunted the offense again. Brees Hall looked phenomenal, and
He is.
he seems to be the guy at draft pick. I think the Jets had a phenomenal draft. Sauce Gardner's looked great. I don't remember
Garrett
the
Wilson.
edge rusher they took. I think it was Jermaine Johnson. I don't know too much about him, but he's got it. I mean, the Jets look good. Zach Wilson might not be the answer, but he might be serviceable enough right now until they can find the answer. Are the Packers a non-factor in the NFC North, Gnar, or are the Jets a solid football team and the Packers are just waiting to figure it out?
I think it's a little bit of both. I said it last week. I'll say it again. We should be done talking about the Packers as contenders. They still haven't looked good. Their offense is broken without Devontae Adams. He doesn't trust anybody out wide, and he needs to. Otherwise, they're not going to score points. I talked about my hot betting weekend, and it included a DraftKings lineup where you buy a fantasy team, and I bought Brees Hall and Ramondre Stevenson. So this was one of those big games for me, and yeah, rookies are good. I think the Jets are better than expected, and I think the Packers are worse than expected. So a little bit of both.
Train?
I can't get a read on the Packers. The Jets. They're just playing well. They're playing pretty good. Great draft, like you said. Sauce Gardner after the game with the cheese head. I thought that was really funny. Something
I agree. Definitely funny.
I could never put that on my head, but if I was making fun of him, I don't know, maybe. Was it Lazard that went over and knocked it off his head?
That's accurate.
I mean, that's a team player, represent.
I'm surprised it didn't create more of a stir.
Yeah, I was thinking a little bit more. He was out there for a while.
Right, this hotshot rookie's doing that on your field. If somebody did that to the Steelers, I've been like, what the fuck, man? Get after that.
I just think Lazard's the only one who's been there for that long of a time. Who cares about, like, Aaron Rodgers doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers probably looked over, saw it, and chuckled, and then called his girlfriend on Skype or something. I don't know.
He was fried.
He's like, oh, he's like, He checked his bank account. He's like, "Oh, the game check still hit. I'm good."
Yeah. Yeah, there it is. See you, boys. I'm taking my own flight home. I hate you.
Tanyan had 10 receptions. Looking like Aaron Rodgers going back to kind of similar to what he did with Randall Cobb.
If you've got number one waiver priority and your tight ends on bye week this week, do you pick up Bob Tanyan?
Yeah. Depending who's available, but I would assume that he would be.
Is it a no-brainer?
No.
Wait, number one priority?
Like this week.
You?
Yeah.
You it'd be a first again?
Yes, sir.
Look, there's a couple options. I have 3 in. I don't know who I would take if I was number one.
I don't think I need anyone to replace anyone on my bench, and I need a tight end. I won't make you exploit your sources, but I mean, I know who's going 1 and 2, and it's a tight end and a defense.
So you're taking.
I think I'm stuck between Tanyan and Bellinger for the Giants. He's young, he's athletic. I like the Giants. 10
receptions Tanyan had.
Yeah, but I just feel like it's going to be one of those things where like he gets 10 receptions for 90 yards this week, so I pick him up because who wouldn't? And then boom,
2 receptions,
11 yards. Yeah. Yes, no.
Wow, that was really close. Wow.
But I just feel like I have to. But it's 1 week, and I just have to make the right choice.
I would pick him, but
yeah, I think when you pick up tight ends on bye weeks, you're gambling on who's scoring and getting a lucky touchdown. That's what it comes down to.
All right. I'll take it into consideration. Speaking of young quarterbacks who I think are the answers to their franchise, hashtag not Zach Wilson, Bailey Zappi leads the Patriots to a dominant win over the Browns. 38-15. I'm on the Zappi train. It's not hard to replace Mac Jones. I mean, it's like when you create a player in Madden and it gives you Joe NFL, 70 attributes. Yeah, he can go in there and win games for you and run a calculated offense. I think Bailey Zappi's got that swag to him. I think he's the replacement. I think he's there for good. Gnar, you got Stevenson. He looked good. Outside of that, I mean, it's Browns Patriots. It's not very exciting. Do you have any words on it, Gnar, Train?
Biggest thing I got from this game is Nick Chubb finally proved again why he's such a high and low fantasy football player. He's so touchdown dependent. Like, sure, this game he only had 50 yards, but an example where he has 100, that's only 10 fantasy points. If he doesn't get you a touchdown or two, he's not having a good week. And finally, 6 weeks in, we got one of those bad weeks, and Kangas can go eat one.
Yeah, it was nice to see that tough for him. Luckily, when I play King, both his running backs are on bye week.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah, Zeke and Chubb are both on bye. Following up Bailey Zappi, I think Trevor Lawrence looked good this week. Tough loss to the Colts. Defense looked rough. We're paying Shaquille Griffin to eat grass during these games right now. He's been awful. He got destroyed. Our linebackers got hustled in the short pass game. Encouraging parts, Trevor Lawrence made smarter decisions in the red zone. The offense has been solid. Finishing in the red zone has been our problem. And I think Trevor Lawrence finally found out today that, I can just run it in the end zone if I'm that close. So that was nice. Finally played well for me in fantasy. I think the offense has turned a corner. And with that, Etienne's looking solid. I think this is the midseason switch. I think if you've got James Robinson, you sell right now. He's going to get the end zone touches. He's bigger, so he'll get those cheap touchdowns every once in a while. But I think now's the point where Etienne's the featured back. He's looked good in the pass and the run, and he's breaking the big plays, and that's what we've been waiting for.
Yes, Bart.
You can don't sell now. If you want to sell, wait 2 more weeks, and you won't even want to sell then. But he'll have a lot more value. I think he's turning the corner. Etienne. Etienne.
He's about to blow up.
I think you sell James Robinson now, hold Etienne because I think they're connecting. They got to figure out the defense. Sad loss. Don't get me wrong. It was a sad loss, but encouraging.
You said if they won this game, they would go to the AFC Championship.
Yeah, guaranteed an
lost.
AFC championship.
Since they lost,
Mm-hmm.
what's the record? 2-4. How do you feel right now?
So
what's happening?
I came in to the Monday morning, not today, but after the game, still very hopeful. Still thinking wild card finish. It's a weak division. And then I got my coffee and I sat down and just breathed a little bit. And I realized we've got an issue as a nation with instant gratification. It's year 2 of a generational talent quarterback, which I will say. And it's year 1 of a new head coach and a new system that was demolished by Urban Meyer. Lions fans are seeing firsthand right now what Matt Patricia did to that locker room, getting rid of Slay and whatnot. Urban Meyer kicked a guy. At least Patricia didn't kick anybody. He kicked the kicker. Like, come on. People took steps backwards that season, and I truly believe that. So I calmed myself down and realized that you just got to wait a little bit. It's not going to change overnight. We didn't sign Fred Warner in free agency. We signed Aluakon, who led the league in tackles last year, but for the Falcons. We're taking a step in the right direction. I finally talked myself down, and I think I'm going to be happy with our 6-11 finish this season. I don't want to tank for a draft pick because I like the growth we're seeing. But I don't think this is a playoff team now, and I don't know if they get there this year. But 6-11 would encourage me as a fan.
Play hard.
Yeah, I think the defense is still weak, and I think that's going to continue to be the problem. I do think it's going to be a high-scoring offense, but we got to build on the outside. Swinging it back to the NFC now. Packers, non-factor. Lions, I don't know, maybe when they get healthy. Bears, awful. Vikings, every single week, the NFC Championship looks more and more attainable. And my man's was calling that from episode 1. You can check the tapes. He had Captain Kirk taking him all the way. Gnar, where are you at after another week of a good win for the Vikings over a battered Dolphins team, still no Tua, but an electric offense despite who's throwing the football?
Yeah, I feel great. I don't know if there's a way to do this, but I wish the Vikings would get a little bit worse and then like a couple other random teams get a little bit better. So later in the season, I don't know how many more primetime games Vikings have, but I can't get them flexing those slots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I need them to stick to the 1 p.m. games, get the record, then play like the 4:30 on a Saturday on Wild Card Weekend. That's what I'm looking for, But they're doing everything right. They're giving the ball to Justin Jefferson. They're running the ball. They're not asking Kirk to go win the game. They're just asking him to manage it, which is what they need to be doing, So I'm looking good. I feel good. They're 5-1 going into the bye week. Sorry, wait, 5-2? No, 5-1. They're looking good going into the bye week. Get the rest, get a little bit healthy, and just keep slinging. Kirk looks good. He's in a weak division. I feel great about my NFC North Division championship pick. Great.
Tyreek Hill and Waddle, both electric, both a lot of yards. But the touchdowns go to Mike Gesicki. And after being flamed for the atrocious Gritty the first time, he goes out and tries it again and gets flamed yet again.
For like 10 minutes.
Train,
Yeah.
What was going through your mind when that man was stomping through the end zone?
I didn't know when he was going to. It wasn't through the end zone. He went to the bench and did it all along.
He went everywhere.
Yeah, he went everywhere. And then he got another touchdown, like you said, second touchdown, and he didn't even move, dude. He was just staring because it was a closer. It was kind of getting to be a within reach kind of game.
It was just a sad touchdown, is what it was.
Yeah, and
if he would have hit it then, I think it truly would have been like a glitch in the Matrix.
Why did Teddy go back into the game, or why didn't he start if he was like able to play in the game?
I read that Mike McDaniel, that's the coach's name, right?
Yes, sir. Love the guy.
He said he values first team reps during the week, and Teddy didn't get cleared till like Thursday or Friday. So Skylar Thompson had all the first team reps throughout the week. So they rode into the week with him. Not based off skill at the quarterback position for some reason. They're like, who played with this football team for 2.5 days? Skylar Thompson, you're starting.
Very
Makes no
analytical move. That's what he does, though. That's what he did in San.
Yes. I
San
think that's
Fran.
a rookie head coach move.
For sure.
I think it's a
for
really,
sure.
really rookie.
You think they win that game if Teddy's there the whole time?
Teddy two gloves covers. I'll tell you that much.
Speaking of covers, teaser pick number 2, the Giants. Again, not only a cover, but a money line. They won it outright against the Ravens. I don't know what to think about the Ravens. I mean, I've been high on the Giants the last couple of weeks. Talk about people not being ready to welcome the Eagles to being a good team. You got to start recognizing the 5-1 Giants at some point. I think they're a solid team, but I don't know what the Ravens are looking like. And every time someone plays the Giants, that's normally how I come out of the game looking at their opponent, which is interesting because they got the Jags this week. So, Train, are the Ravens a playoff contender, or what's the Lamar situation here?
Oh, Lamar's situation. He needs Bateman back. They've been winning all of these games, and they've just blown them all away in the last quarter. And it's tough to have the future over 9.5 wins when they've lost all 3 of these games like this. The Giants, they're good. Like, I mean, they win, right? And they have a better record than the Ravens, but I still like the Ravens if they played again.
No. Did you see the Ravens sign Deshaun Jackson today?
No, I feel like that's...
Yeah, because I saw a Twitter meme.
Yeah.
People were talking about all these quarterbacks and receivers, and they were like, oh, Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Jackson, and some others. So, I mean, maybe it's a personnel issue there, but locking down a quarterback to a quarterback contract isn't going to necessarily give you a bunch of free money to go out and target guys. Rams shaped up a bit against the Panthers, though, which is an easy team to get a tune-up against, but also a team you'd probably like to blow out. Are the Rams still a team, Train, that you're questioning, or is this still a franchise that you think can make it to the playoffs this season?
I think they might make it to the playoffs. Maybe pretty close, but I don't think they'll get as far as they did last year. Maybe not even make it past the first game. It just looks rough. Stafford, 253, touchdown and a pick. Stafford just throws so many picks now. I mean, he always kind of has.
He did in Detroit, yeah.
Yeah, he always kind of has, but it's beginning. I don't know what the problem is, really. Maybe he just throws too. I don't know. I can't say that about them because the Panthers just threw it to CMC with like 16 targets as a running back.
Is that the straw that broke Robbie Anderson's back? The amount of times CMC was seeing the ball?
Just like wide receiver screens with CMC all game. And probably,
I think, personally, Panthers like, oh, trade deadline's coming up. Let's get CMC stats and stock up, sell high. I think it's a genius move. I see right through it. I think the Panthers are selling. They want to give him those numbers. Or they're just going back to 3 years ago and they're like, well, we were decent, a couple years ago, and all we did was give CMC the ball every time on every possession.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. I don't know what to think about the Rams and Stafford. I think he might be starting to hit a wall, which is tough to say after he just won a Super Bowl. But I think you got to do better against the Panthers. Another game of strange thoughts, maybe. I don't know how to word it. Cardinals Seahawks. Teaser pick number 3 for Train. And again, not only covered heavily in this one, but an outright winner on the money line. Seahawks won 19-9. Is Geno Smith just a solid enough quarterback to put together a Joe Flacco for the Ravens type of season? Or are the Cardinals bad?
I think we're going to say both again. I mean, this offense doesn't really have an excuse to be bad, but they just are. They have speedy guys outside, a good running back, and Kyler Murray, who's supposed to be your big-time extension, and he's just not doing it for him. So Seahawks are broken. I think that coach out there in Arizona, he's on the hot seat. He might be the hottest of all seats in the NFL at the moment.
I was going to say Cliff's got to be sweating in his sleep, but we've seen his house, and he's a pretty good-looking dude, too, so he'll land on his feet. But
yeah,
as a Cardinals fan, I would be hitting panic mode, especially because this is when you get your good Kyler Murray. Call of Duty hasn't even dropped yet. And every year it's, the Cardinals are great. Kyler Murray's awesome. They're 6-0. They're 5-1. And then they hit the wall near the second half of the season. If you're struggling to get wins now, Robbie Anderson's not going to get you any closer. I think it's a good deal on the pick. Marquise Brown goes down, though. Might require season-ending surgery. But they've got the weapons. I don't think they were a Robbie Anderson away, especially if he's your replacement for Marquise Brown.
Well, D-Hop does come back this week, too.
Yeah, and I was watching segments on, that's Kyler's guy to throw the ball up to and make a jump ball. And I saw a couple of highlights of him throwing jump balls to the likes of Rondale Moore, who is being guarded by a 6'4" cornerback. And that's the kind of stuff where you're like, yeah, D-Hop might be hurting him, but shouldn't your quarterback look and recognize and be like, oh, that corner's got 5 inches on my receiver?
Right.
I'll throw it up anyways.
Yeah.
Either he's not recognizing that on the field or he's not studying enough, because that should be in the notes. Rondale lines up in the slot. Woolen plays in the slot.
He's tall enough to see.
He might just be seeing.
He just can't see.
He's just staring at the back of O linemen's jerseys and is just like, oh, fuck it. D-Hop's up there somewhere. He might not even know he's injured.
Right.
No one's told Kyler that D-Hop is, in fact, not down there right now.
No, man, what a mistake.
Oh, someone should have told him. We fixed it. Cardinals are better now.
I got one more thing from this game.
Go for it.
So it was good to see Kenneth as a Sparty guy.
Yes, sir.
It turns out it wasn't a fluke season. He looked incredible. That touchdown run he had to the left side, that was not an easy touchdown run. He made 3 people miss, and he made it look like he didn't even try. The guy's electric. Expect big runs. If I'm a fantasy owner, starting right now,
I already put him in the lineup.
Yeah, I would shop him, but only get something good because he's good.
I tried to sell him to Ham last week, and Ham said he wasn't convinced on the Seahawks O-line, and that if Kenneth Walker didn't break that 69-yard run, it was like 7 rushes for 15 yards. And I said, I do trust him, and I do trust the O-line, so I'm not selling low. And I actually said the O-line's a non-factor because a great running back, a good running back, bad O-lines blow up. That's when you hit a hole and take advantage.
And he proved it this time.
And he did.
I think he had 3 or 4 huge runs.
I'm glad I didn't sell him. He is looking good. I've already moved him into the lineup. He's in the flex right now, but I've considered keep bumping Aaron Jones out of RB2 and giving Kenneth Walker the shot. The only reason he's in the flex right now is because of timing things on Sunday. Bills beat the Chiefs in a good game. Fun. It normally is when 2 good teams fight. I think the Bills look good. I think the Chiefs are looking good again. I think Bills fans are happy. I think Chiefs fans are happy. And I think that's going to be something we're seeing for a couple of years now. 2 young talents and good rosters and good coaches, I think. Would you agree?
Yeah. Yeah. I think this is, I saw Stephon Diggs whisper to somebody on the Chiefs team after the game. They said, don't worry. It was one of those where I'm going to see you again. And everybody in the NFL if Goodell wants to make money, he's going to rig the season to make that playoff game happen.
I
It
don't
doesn't
think
matter if it's in the wild card. It doesn't matter if it's in the AFC Championship.
I don't
That
think he's
game
got
will
to
be
rig it.
right. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean it'll
I
happen at
think
some point.
I think they're the best two teams in the AFC, if not the AFC, maybe even the NFL. I don't know who's better in the NFC. I really like both of them, and we're in a today's day and age of the NFL is you either have the best quarterback in the NFL or you don't have a good quarterback. These two have the best, and they proved it this week. They both look good. Everybody thought it'd be enough time for Mahomes at the end. He made a crucial mistake that's nobody's ever seen before, but it was good to see the Bills win. On that field coming off that horrifying loss last year.
Yeah, I mean it was a great AFC matchup, and then it was followed up with a great NFC beast matchup between the Eagles, who we talked about earlier, looking good, looking better, and then the Cowboys, who people thought the season was over when Dak went down with the injury, or at least significantly hindered because it wasn't a season-ending thing off the get-go. But whether or not it's Cooper Rush playing good football or good coaching and great defense, Cowboys are winning games, and they played a solid game against the Eagles, who haven't really dominated anybody yet. It's why people are still hesitant on them. And I think this is just another one of those games where, like, are the Eagles really good, or was it just because Cooper Rush, like, are the Cowboys just not that great? But I think the Cowboys' defense is good enough. But I think the
Yeah.
Eagles came out on top in a strong NFC beast matchup. And I think they might. I do think the Eagles are good. I know we talked about it earlier, so I won't kick a dead horse, but I think they're a solid team.
Speed.
Shout out Steed on that one. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Monday Night Football, something that even if you're not a huge football person, if you've got a sports betting account, you probably took an odds boost for Justin Herbert to throw not 2, not 3, not 4, but only 1 touchdown. And it didn't happen. It was either for the first time or second time. I didn't know if he was 35 of 36 games before that or if that was the first one he missed.
That was his second one. I believe Hammy said it was 24 games in a row. So maybe it was like 12 games into his career is when he first did it, and then yeah, they go and throw on this boost, and I was gonna deposit. I was like, oh, it's a free double my money. I was gonna put in 25. Max bet was 25, and I just forgot. So that was nice forgetting.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Gnar, who did not
Did not
I
forget.
Did you put the max bet on that?
Oh, I 100% did.
Yeah.
I've told everybody. I've talked about this hot sports betting weekend, and I took 3 or 4 bets on Saturday and 4 or 5 on Sunday, and they were all like plus money. Like plus 200, plus 150, plus 395 when I bet Sparty when they were down 7. They all hit. And I take this bet that was boosted from minus 800. He throws 52 passes, the most in NFL history without a passing touchdown in a winning effort, and he doesn't get one in the end zone. I mean, that's brutal. I hope it just doesn't knock me off this hot streak I'm on, but I don't feel the good vibes, and I need somebody to pick me up now before I make our bets for the week.
Into the world of college football, where I've got some energy for you. University of Michigan dominated a Penn State team that before the game was ranked 5th nationally in the run, and they frankly walked all over them. Blake Corum, 166 yards. Donovan Edwards, 173 yards, each with a pair of touchdowns. If Blake Corum even keeps this up a little bit, he's got to be going to the Heisman ceremony. I don't want to hear any Kenneth Walker, Blake Corum connections, comparisons. Let them both enjoy their separate careers. Kenneth Walker was phenomenal, and he didn't have half of the O-line Michigan had. On top of that, shout out Michigan O-line. They are as good as everybody says. I don't know how you could have ever doubted them. They brought in the number 1 ranked center last year. This was a good Penn State rush defense. Train, where are you at with the Michigan football season now after seeing that? You never want to discount State because we always seem to lose to them when we're supposed to win the most. I mean, we probably looked the best against State in a loss this year when they were undefeated and we played them. But you got Michigan State to go through and Ohio State to go through. Do you think this is a Michigan team that can end the season undefeated?
It's tough. And I don't think. I mean, they always have issues with Michigan State, no matter how good or how bad either team is. So it's never an easy game. But I'm feeling a little bit more confident than I did last year with Kenneth Walker on MSU. But I'm still not gonna bet on them or even touch anything.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna worry the entire time until the game has 0-0-0 on it, and we're winning the game.
Yeah, it could be 99-0 with 5 seconds left in the fourth, and I won't say a peep.
No, nothing.
Oh, yes.
Throw with the
Unless I have a
snap, the 99-point
I have a
play.
couple drinks. No, don't even say that.
We've never seen it before.
The ball is free.
Unless I have a few drinks in me, yeah, I won't say anything until the game's over. There's a good chance. Yeah.
You will have a couple drinks in you. It's a night
Yeah.
game. It's Halloween weekend.
We're gonna be
Buzzing after
destroyed.
a football game. We're definitely betting that game, and we're gonna go at each other's throats.
The whole
And it's
time.
gonna be electric, and we're gonna love it no matter what.
That's just not true. Someone's gonna get pissed and someone's not.
Yeah, it probably
It's either gonna be Gnar or Hammy. Yeah. Tennessee wins a close one against Alabama. Alabama almost lost one last week. Is Tennessee a good team? I mean, they're ranked high. Is Bama not as good as everyone's thinking? And is Bryce Young still QB1 off of the draft board?
I think Tennessee's good. If you put 52 up on Bama, you're a good team. I don't care what, if that's a down defense, a bad defense. Tell me 3 other teams that's put 52 on Bama in the last 10 years.
Yeah, it's
probably not more than 10 teams. I don't know the exact number.
Not easy.
It just came off the top of my head. The biggest thing I took away from this game is, a lot of people say college football is better than NFL, and I tend to disagree just because I like watching NFL more. But seeing that scene in that stadium and watching that goalpost go from the fucking field into the river in downtown Knoxville, there's nothing like college football. There's nothing better than college football.
Well,
that's
on top
amazing.
of that, 5 touchdowns from one guy.
The problem with professional sports is they outprice the fun fans. When you I know college football games, especially. I mean, I'm sure tickets were reselling for hundreds, but those student section tickets that get sold out, those are just drunk kids who spent probably half of their college spending money on those season tickets to go to the game. That's why you get that electricity. And until professional sports if you get reasonably priced tickets, you're going to build a much better environment for your team. And you'll probably do more in concession sales on top of that. Fix the ticket prices, you'll get an electric crowd. Speaking of insane ticket prices, we'll jump into baseball.
Mark, I think we should get an NFL team. I think we just got it.
We'll start a crowdfunding.
Holy shit. That sounds electric.
If you pay, it doesn't have to be cheap as shit, but if you pay like $50,
it makes sense.
Pay $50 to get a good solid ticket somewhere low. Oh, it's going to be
$3
crazy.
beers.
Those
$3 beers.
Those $100 tickets are being bought by the people who are sitting down the whole game, and they're saving their money on the snacks because they brought their own. They snuck them in because they're frugal. No. Let the dumb, drunk, credit card generation in those games, let them swipe, Venmo, whatever. Your profits will go through the roof, let alone your home field advantage. If there's an NFL crowd that goes out there like that, I don't think that team would lose a home game. They took the goal. They took the goalpost out, and they marched it down the street and threw it in the river. And the NFL's banning Barstool from its press conferences. No, they're blocking out the wrong fan base, and that's what baseball's doing too. They're putting so many of these games behind heavy subscriptions because of TV rights and TV contracts. You're killing fans who just want to watch the game for a reasonable price. and then you condemn them from streaming, whatever. I could do an hour episode on that alone. But baseball, the sport that hates the young generation of fans, Astros sweep the Mariners. Who'da thunk it? A lot of people still hate them. Yeah, they cheated. So what? Spoiler alert, most MLB teams throughout history do and did. Sticky stuff got banned. The steroid era was something that was known about, not really mentioned, but the MLB knew it was putting butts in the seat. 70 bomb home run, 70 bomb seasons are more fun to watch. It's a fact. They had to clap down eventually. So what? They paid their penance. They got plunked by baseballs for an entire season. They're a good baseball team. Enjoy Yordan Alvarez where you can watch him. He's phenomenal. Absolutely murders baseball. Braves lost. Don't want to talk about it. Tough season. Fuck the Phillies. I hate them with every ounce of my body. But highlight, Dodgers dropped it to the Dodgers. Dodgers dropped it to the Padres. My apologies. So we got Padres, Phillies in the NLCS, which I don't even know. I don't even know what to think about that. I'd love to see the Padres win because that's a team that cares about fans and cares about good baseball. They see a guy they want, they go get him. They're fun to watch. Yankees Guardians game is going. Yeah, go ahead. Absolutely.
I'm guessing the Yankees and
Is it done?
Guardians. I don't know. Is it done?
Check the score for me. It was a rain
Yeah.
rain delay. ALDS
Oh.
is wrapping up. ALCS is going to be Astros versus the Yankees or the Guardians.
So
5-1 Yankees.
Game over.
yeah.
Yep.
I would like to see the Guardians win that.
76ers
I
started
hate
as well.
I hate the Yankees too. It's ugh. I don't want to root for the Astros either. So I'm kind of done with baseball. I'm kind of not. I'll watch and follow along, but Braves are out. At this point, I gotta like the Padres for the World Series. But I think the Astros are going to win it, and I think that'd be fun for Justin Verlander. NBA season's coming up. We'll deep dive into that next week on our next episode. We'll go through some betting favorites and stuff. We'll be a little bit behind, but we'll give you more information for it. NHL started off hot for the Red Wings. We watched Game 1 in Grand Rapids with our in-house hockey expert, Zach Hamilton, and he was electric. I think we got 2 empty net goals at the end. We won our next game after that. We're scoring goals. We've got the tallest and biggest line in like recent NHL history, which is fun hockey. And we dropped a tough one last night. It was a tough fought game, and the guys had energy on the ice. So I'm
Larkin.
Larkin. I mean, Larkin's awesome. I love the guy.
Great. I don't know. He stopped that goal at the end.
Yeah,
and scored
when he dove on the empty net. Yeah, so hype.
Hard to lose that one, but
it was tough to
I might
lose.
start watching the Wings.
Yeah, the Wings are going to be a fun team to watch. If you ever find yourself just at home scrolling around on Netflix or Hulu, just turn it off. Put on the Red Wings game. It's fun hockey this season. Buckle up. More on that when we get Hammy on the podcast. He'll give us all the updated picks. That's our guy. That's our expert. I've got a base knowledge. But it should be fun. We'll keep things going. With that, we'll go into our betting segment. Like I said, teaser hit last week. We're killing it on those. Well, we're 2-3 on the year on those now. Money in the Banks, 1-0.
Hey,
like I said, yeah.
1-0 in the last week, though.
1-0 in the last week. Money in the Banks, 1-0. That's not every week. It's not every month. It's when we know something's going to hit. That's our 3+ unit parlays. And our props go to 5 and 7 on our anytime touchdown score. Normally we parlay it together to get that boost, but we count them as individual props in the record. Looking into week 6, Train, Gnar, which one wants to go first? Who you got this week? Let's start with the teaser.
Train, if you got one.
I know Hammy doesn't like teasing favorites, and I think it's been working so far for us. I like the Ravens bounce back. They're home against the Browns. -6.5 drops them down to just win the game. I think the Ravens can win this game. I think Bateman might be back. I I think they're bouncing back. They're definitely winning this game.
No,
I like that. Oh, I'm betwixt a couple here. Bark, if you got one, you got to go.
I
I'm
don't
really
have.
thinking.
Do you have options?
Yes.
I mean, I want to take the Chiefs.
Why are the Jaguars favored?
I want to take the Chiefs.
You want? Are you or?
I think
No,
so.
Bark,
Someone talked me out of it.
I don't like that. Taking them
I-
to 3, I don't like that.
I thought about it initially, but I don't know if it's enough value. I think maybe. Well, I was thinking about maybe 49ers.
Oh, you're crazy.
Well, that's just it's gonna be a close game, I think.
I'm getting
All
the
right, I got
Chiefs
mine.
with points. All right, go ahead, Nar. I'll keep. I won't commit to the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm also not gonna. I don't want to talk you out of it.
I'll take the Pats down to 1.5. All I gotta do is win by 2 against a bad Bears team on Monday night. Bailey, no. Now I'm taking that back because Mac Jones might be playing.
All right,
Fuck.
I got mine. If you want to keep looking,
All right, go.
I'm taking the Panthers.
No way.
What?
Give me 17 points in the Panthers
You're
against
sick fuck.
an ugly Buccaneers team. I think Tom Brady is getting. I think he made a deal with the devil, and I think that devil might have been Adam Schefter, which is why this is like Adam Schefter was like, "No, you're done, dude. Like I promise you, I gave you all these good years." Tom's like, "Oh no, fuck you. I can do it. I got another season." And I think Schefter's just sapping the talent out of this guy. Every week he looks worse and worse, and he's yelling at his teammates this week. No. Give me the Panthers plus 17. No way.
That's a wild take, but
That's a lot of points. It's a lot of points.
That's
we're
so
gonna
many
send it.
points.
We're gonna send it.
All right. I'm going to go with the 6-0 team against the spread. Give me the Falcons against the Bengals. They're plus 6 right now, so that's going to go to 12. I think they lose by 11 convincingly.
So
That'll work.
we got Falcons, Ravens, and Panthers.
Oh, that's
Yes.
disgusting.
I love it. I love it.
Oh,
Falcons,
so gross.
Ravens, Panthers. Lock it in. We'll tweet it out. That's what we got this week. 1-0 in the last week, 2-3 on the season. We're turning it around now. That's what gets you back on the train, Nar. That's the teaser. That's getting rid of that ugly bet yesterday. So what I need right now is an anytime touchdown score. Lock it in. You got us last week with playoff Lenny. Hit me with it.
Devontae Adams.
Ah,
Is that yours?
we just like tripled down on Devontae Adams.
I don't know.
Is it
He's scoring.
I don't have
Is it
anybody in my
open?
mind yet.
Yeah.
Are you going to say it? Say it. Is it MIB play?
I don't know what that
I don't know.
means.
Money in the bank?
I can't say
that's
that because
what I
I
was-
wasn't about to say Devontae Adams.
I mean,
If you were, it would have been a Money in the bank.
yeah. I think if we all three of us agreed before it,
I think we
We're
should
definitely-
start doing that again. Like, start doing that next week. We all say it at the same time for the same player.
I wasn't going to
Money in
say
the Bank
Devontae
play.
Adams, though.
yeah, I know,
know.
but that's
We're
why
saying for future
we're waiting.
reference.
Yeah. Well,
I'll-
we're gonna lock in Devontae Adams because I love that.
For any time TD.
I'm gonna have to think about it though because that was my pick. Go ahead, bro.
This is just for. We need to clear. This is not a Money in the Bank play, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right.
It's
All right.
Touchdown scores.
I think that I am going to pick. Oh, I don't know. There's just. I can't be the one to ruin this again.
Pick a touchdown score.
I'm working on it. There's one out there, and I'm gonna find the perfect one. I know he's out there. And he's begging for me to pick him. Give me Austin Eckler.
Yep.
Are you guys ready for a parlay winner?
Bang bang. Yep, go ahead.
Wait, who are the Chargers? Oh, Seahawks. Yeah, over 51. Love that. Love it.
Travis Kelce.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Game over.
Lock
Money.
it in. Travis Kelce,
That's definitely a parlay
Austin
play.
Eckler, Devontae Adams. Parlay those together. It's
That's
hitting.
chalk as shit, but parlay the shit out
It's all
of
right.
it.
That's all right. Let's get us up there. Let's get that prop bet number on track.
Does
got a
anyone
chance?
have a money in the bank play?
No, I don't.
I did look at them earlier to see if I liked any that much. I didn't look into player props that much, but not yet. Maybe we can. No, I think it's got to be in the pod
I mean,
if we have them.
well, it can be, it cannot be.
I
mean,
think
money
if I
in the,
wake up Sunday morning and I think Tyreek Hill's getting over 5.5 receptions,
I'd
it's a money in the bank play.
I'd keep the Twitter there. I'd put the alerts on at least for Saturday, so that you get the alerts on Sunday. Because last time we had Bengals -1.5 as money in the bank, and they were -3 on game day, which they still covered, and we did tweet out -1.5, which alternate spread that. But keep the alerts on. Check the Twitter for potential money in the banks. It's not weekly. It's not monthly. It's not yearly. It's when the bones are rattling and the money's in the bank. That's all we got for this week. Oh, Gnar, got something?
I think Jucks Nation just moved the spread so much. They were putting so much money down.
Jucks Nation was hammering
Adams
it.
is about to be -300 for a touchdown score.
Yeah, lock in the TD parlay, knock in the teaser. If you're on YouTube, drop a like, hit the subscribe button. This is Jucks, presented by Always Bullin. Until next time, boys, we'll fist it.